Alright, we're back and we're talking about Symbiosis, that's the one. I always have to check this one. I'm like, Symbiosis. This episode was, ooh, we got a few names on here I don't recognize. A story by Robert Lowen. Oh no, and I recognize these ones from last episode. I guess they changed up the script because it's written by Robert Lowen and Richard Manning and Hans Beimler, I fucking know names. Guessing they punched up the script and changed it, or changed it around. Probably not for the better. Knowing how most of early TNG worked, was probably not for the better. See, there's problems. Just saying. Just saying. I don't recognize the director. We've got a Win Phillips. Okay. I'm just looking at it going, oh, they directed this episode. Only this episode. Not want to return, or go look up their IMDb credits. If they're just like, yeah, I got something better. They directed 19 episodes of LA Law. A lot of odd other episodes of shows. The Bronx Zoo. The white principal of Bronx school that is rough, black and Latino neighbor tries to keep everyone's spirits up despite having to deal with unmotivated teachers and disinterested students. Okay. Alright, you ever look at the show and you're like, that's got Ed, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, I never came back for this. Did some interesting. Ooh, 7 episodes of Doogie House. I'm getting distracted. Anyway, yeah, I guess just was like, nah, I'm good. Right. Fair enough. Well, it was also early TNG, so yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Anywho, and this episode aired on, now that I've actually got these dates right, I had them wrong a little bit. That's annoyed me. This episode aired on, this one actually aired on the 18th of April, 1988. What happened on this day? The 92nd Boston Marathon. Brahma Hussein of Kenya wins men's race, and Rosa Mota of Portugal repeats as champion. So, marathon happened. Warm all over. Barbra Streisand records Warm all over. Okay. Famous birthdays. Vanessa Kirby, English actress. Princess Margaret and the Crown. Famous deaths. Yeah, Brocatus, a French humorist, dies at 48. A bit too young. Too young. And the number one song in the US is Where Do Broken Hearts Go by Whitney Houston. I was going to say, where do hearts go broken? And on the same topic, in the UK, number one song is Heart by the Pet Shop Boys. That sets up everything that happened on this day. Now, Symbiosis. This is an episode. It's a little heavy-handed of an episode, is what I'd probably say. I think that's fair to say. It's very much so. Overview of just, it's very much drugs are bad, kids. Cool. Anyway, see you later, guys. Later. Very much just, yeah, no, drugs are bad. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Basically, we start off like with the episode with the crew are just going to investigate Star. That's I think going. Was it going over? Going. Massive solar eruptions. Okay, I thought it was going like Nova or some shit, but not really. Just unusual solar flares, and they find out what ship's got caught in it. They have to save it, and they're like, "Oh shit, the ship's broken up." They go, "Cool, we'll beam you aboard." And they try to, and they go, "The fuck? You guys just beamed over some cargo? What the fuck? We want to save the people?" And they eventually manage to save the people, but only 4 people. I think there's 6 on the ship. You're like, well, you guys done fucked up. Why'd you try and save this cargo? We find out the cargo is drugs. We basically have 2 people from one race and 2 people from another race. 2 people from one race are the race that can make these drugs and cultivate them on their own planet. Which we find out that it can't be cultivated on the other planet. And the basically other people need these drugs. They need it. They need it a lot. Or at least, they think they need it. They basically show, throughout the episode, they show like they're like incredibly addicted and like, we need to go, yeah, go, get the drugs. They try to come to an arrangement. We find out they both have electricity powers for some reason. Anyway, I guess to try and establish that these are very connected races. One thing I noticed, kind of just doing a quick like scan through the episode just before I did this recording, I was like, one of them kind of has like an outie like nose bit here, and one of them kind of has like an innie one, and they're kind of like the only prosthetics they have on this kind of race. This is the thing I noticed. They both went for, yeah, just like above the nose, so to kind of indicate that these are like, yeah, like Romulans or Vulcans is what I'd probably say is the closest. Yeah, these are two people of like a very similar race. Never really established if these were like one race at some point or anything like that, but I don't know. Headcanon, since they both have weird electricity powers. Yeah, you can just electrocute people. Zap. Yeah, there's the special drug, which is actually just red lentils. That's something I noticed. It's like, that's just red lentils, mate. Ah. Anyway, yeah. God's trying to broker it. But like, hey, could you like give him some? Just keep him calm. And yeah, Crusher sees like when they finally take someone, it's just like, yeah, those guys are addicted. That's just an addiction. I know what addiction's like, mate. I was addicted to cocaine back in the day. Back in Starfleet Cat. No. Crusher just knows what an addiction looks like. Like, yeah, no, they're addicted to that shit. And what we find out is basically the race that's selling this stuff realise that you can basically kind of survive this addiction and just go past it. This way, just don't say no. Just say no. You can just go cool turkey. And they do. Well, they do. They're forced to. So, what happens eventually is Picard says, I can't intervene. I can't tell these people what you want me to tell them because of the Prime Directive. Kinda dumb, but okay. It's one of those things, the Prime Directive thing is like, oh, yeah, it's that thing of can't interfere with the culture, but it's like, okay. But then also, Picard goes, yeah, but I also can't repair their ship, so they'll find out what they don't need this drug. By happenstance. And they go, fuck. Because initially this race is just, these 2 people are just shit-eating grins of just like, you can't say anything, can you? That kind of evil, and you're like, oh, you guys just got a shit-eating grin. And, yeah. And it's nice. And we have... It's funny, because there is a episode of Lower Decks that picks up after this. and we find out what happens to both of these races, which I won't spoil here, but is a very interesting one. Actually, I'll probably put it in the commentary when I did that. But what's the episode? It is Trusted Sources. That's the episode. It's a good episode as well. Yeah, if you want to follow up on this story, Trusted Sources, you find out what happens to this race. Just a good 23 years later, or 24, no, 34 years later, we find out what happened on this planet. Very interesting. But yeah, I do like the attitude of like, oh, yeah, Picard can't interfere, but then goes, oh wait, aha, I also can't. I don't have to repair your ship. So they'll find out that they don't need this drug. Cool. Yeah, and we find out what happens to that. Yeah, other than that, this episode has some problems. It is very much just say no to drugs. It's like not quite how that works. It's a very 80s attitude to drugs. That's what I'm saying. Very 80s America attitude to drugs, which does not fucking work. Just saying it. You gotta support people that just don't say no. Don't fucking work, mate. Like, oh, okay, it works for some people, but still, yeah, it's not the best of attitudes. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the things that's just. I skipped to the fact that a race just like holds Riker hostage for a bit, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. And the other thing you notice in the end of the episode, you see Denise Crosby waving in the background because it's her last episode. So the next episode takes place after this. This one was recorded after that one. It's very confusing. Yeah, it's weird. No, I'm just noticing, reading this thing from Memory Alpha. I'm like, okay, was this from the official Star Trek magazine, issue 19, page 28 to 29, from the director. There were many continuity problems. Down on the set, we began to notice discrepancies. Some sequences just didn't really work. The actors would say, my motivation is totally wrong here. Perhaps a previous scene would be to the contrary. They were trying to act scenes that they had not read before, or were substantially different from what they had read. That didn't happen every scene, but it happened. About Denise Crosby's final scene, he said, as Patrick and Gates leave the hold where the drugs are kept, you can see Denise Crosby wave goodbye on the camera. She was about 40 yards in the background where nobody would notice. It was Denise's last day on the ship. Oh, okay. I thought they were going more into the discrepancies. Does it say anything about, like, writing? Yeah. No. Okay. I thought I'd see a bit more about it, but nope. Yeah. It's, our episode. Not my favourite. It's, I don't know, it's one of those ones where I'm like, you kinda already know what's going on. Quite clearly to see from these people, it's like, you know, they're obviously trying to act out, diction. That's kind of it. But I don't like the end. Picard's just like, no, you go cold turkey. Any issues, obviously, Picard. They never really visit the race, or at least this ship never does. And they never see the consequences of their actions. Which is, I guess, something that Lower Decks plays on the fact that, a lot of times the Enterprise never really sees the consequences. Yeah. I think that's enough for this episode. The next episode, oh I know this one, it's Skin of Evil, isn't it? Yeah, Skin of Evil. A controversial episode, so what a controversial one. Some ways, some other ways. Some ways good, some ways bad. Yeah, I see. Mixed, very mixed. Yeah, we'll get to that next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Now I say, live long and prosper.